Thanks for tuning in to Bourbon Drop. I'm your host, Myron. Today, we're going to discuss a few bottles that I just kind of fell out of love with and some bottles that I may not have loved from the beginning. So, I don't like to sit up here and dog bottles, man. That is not my goal on this channel. My goal is to just bring you honest reviews, and I hope you guys appreciate that. Before we get started, please do me a favor. Hit the like button, comment on the video, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell notification so you guys get these reviews all the time. And with that being said, let's get into them right now. And a couple of these, I gave favorable reviews. So, I think it's called Kentucky Bourbon Barrel Ale. I love that beer, man. It's an ale. It's an ale. Let me correct myself because you guys will hit me in the comments. But the Town Branch, I sipped a little bit and I was like, oh, Town Branch is a hitter. No, it's not. It is not. I completely fell out of love with Town Branch, and you see how low it is. It's about half a bottle. So often I'll go back to it. I'll pour myself a glass, and sometimes I'll just have to pour it out, man. And I tell myself, like, why do you constantly punish yourself trying to make this thing good? Because the first time that I had it, I thought it was good. I really did. And then it just changed on me. Man, it's got this weird sourness to it, and like that licorice note that I do not like at all. And I don't know what happened. The neck pour gave it promise. I was like, oh wow, like Town Branch is a hitter. And then it was like, no, it's not. And to follow this one up is one that kind of has similar notes. When I first got this bottle, man, the Breckenridge 105, I was like, okay, I really like this. I was like, I mean, I've never reviewed it on the channel. I don't think I've ever reviewed anything from Breckenridge on the channel. But I was like, okay, I'm liking it. I'm liking it. That's really good. And it has probably been a few years since I've been in this bottle, and I actually poured some in the glass, and I was like, that tastes like the Town Branch. It's got those licorice notes that I don't like. It's something weird in it that I don't like, and I was like, man, that's a bottle that I kind of fell out of love with. I don't know what I was thinking. Now, it was early on in my bourbon journey, and you guys know, and put the bottles in the comments that you've had this same experience with, because you guys know that sometimes you will get a bottle early on in your bourbon journey, Blanton's or Buffalo Trace, that you think are the best bottles that you've ever had. And then you get further into your bourbon journey and realize that there are plenty of better bottles out there that just smash those bottles, and you go back to them, you're like, why did I even think those bottles were that great in the first place? Now look, don't get me wrong, I am still a fan of Blanton's and I am still a fan of Buffalo Trace. Will I say that they are some of the best bourbons that I've ever had? No. Have I always said that they are some of the best bourbons that I've ever had? No, but I still think Blanton's is my 93 proof monster, because in that proof, there is nothing out there that beats it. And I've seen countless blinds. Well, I can't say that because I had Gray on the channel. Shout out Gray. It was beaten by the Blue Run with Gray. Now, I didn't have the same results when I did it, but I've seen countless blinds out there on other channels where it just seems to edge out, and I think it's because of the age. You know, Blue Run, I think that Blue Run juke joint, the 93 proof, I think it's only 3 years old. But if you had that thing at 5 years old, maybe 6 years old, I think it would kick Blanton's ass all day long. Let's get to the next bottle. I also gave this bottle a favorable review. This is the, what is this? Franklin County's Black Label 141 Rye. When I first had it in the glass, I was like, wow, I was so nervous to put it on the palate because I just thought it was going to eat me alive. But I got it on the palate. I was like, wow, this is actually pretty smooth. It had this real like funky moonshine taste, but I could deal with it. I was like, the guys over at Franklin County, man, I said, they know what they're doing. I went back to the bottle a day later, and you see how much is gone out of the bottle. It wrecked my palate. It wrecked my palate for about 2 weeks. Nothing tasted the same. This grapefruit heavy, citrus heavy note that it has in it just wrecked my palate. Every other bourbon that I tried for about 2 weeks killed me to drink. I wind up putting this thing in ice with orange juice and making it like a gin and juice, and that was the only way I was able to get it down to that much. So let's get on to the next bottle. Don't kill me. I'm a big fan of barrel, but the Dovetail. Now, recently, I was able to pair this with a cigar, and I thought this thing was a monster. I was like, oh my gosh, I've got to get that on the channel. So that review will be coming up soon. But by itself, it's not that it's bad. It's just that it is too sweet for me. I know it's down here. It was a little above the label before I started pairing it with the cigar. Shout out to my man Noah. He came over. That is my brother from another mother. He came over. We did a little more damage to the bottle, pairing it with a pretty special cigar, I'll just say that. And it went so well with it, man. So I'm just gonna say it's not a bad bourbon, but by itself, I can't drink it. When I first got it, I couldn't even stomach it because I got it down here and I still didn't like it. I even gave samples away. I took 2-ounce samples to work for 3 good buddies of mine. Shout out Andrew, Kitty, and Nick, and they all had the same experience. They did not like it. So they said it was just way too sweet. They didn't know what it was. I felt the exact same way. So, but anyway, I can't wait to give you guys the review of the cigar that it paired with. Next on the list, this was a Virginia ABC store pick released it was bottled May of 2021, released shortly after that. It's super cinnamon MGP. That is all it is. It kind of reminds me of the Remus that I do not like. It is super cinnamon MGP. Yes, there's quite a bit gone out of a bottle. I hate pouring money down the drain, so from time to time I will revisit bottles that I did not like. Sometimes I found something special. More often than not, it is still pretty bad. Let's get to the next bottle. So I picked this one up. This was a Nixon Clinton store pick. I'm sorry, not a Nixon Clinton, BK Miller store pick. You guys know that I am a huge fan of store picks. So I'm a sucker for store picks. That's all I gotta say. I will pick up a store pick in a heartbeat. And I picked this thing up and it was the same as the Redemption. It was super cinnamon MGP. That's all it was. And I was just like, wow. I was like, I just wasted my money. I have not been in that bottle since I got into there, and who knows how many months that's been. So let's get into the next bottle. This bottle, I don't think I was ever in love with this bottle. I was trying to find, I'll move this over here. I was trying to find a bottle that was a decent price, that had some age on it, that was around that 90 proof mark, so that, you know, sometimes you just want something a little light. And this $1.08 was the first bottle that I got nothing but grass from. I mean, it is like drinking a glass of ground up hay and water on a hot summer day. If you can imagine that, that is exactly what that bottle is like. And like I said, I will go back 2 bottles from time to time. Even sipped on a little bit before I did the interview just to see if it still tasted the same. And yeah, it's very watered down and it is very grassy. And yes, the years are there, but it is just not good. So look, I don't like crapping on bottles, but these are bottles that I just no longer love. Please let me know the bottles in the comments that you guys have and experiencing with the same thing out there. So with that being said, let the whiskey flow. Never run out unless you're headed to a drop. Till next time.